hapa nimekumbuka ile deni yangu. Nani anakuwa?
So we refused to vote for Raila Odinga. Not because he was a very bad man, but William Ruto confessed as his bad. Again, I must say that Raila Odinga was a victim of our community's distinct for betrayal. We felt that Uhuru Kenyatta had betrayed William Ruto by looking for Raila Odinga. So because we hate betrayal, we decided to banish Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. But still 1.1 million people from our region voted for Raila Odinga. But now that William Ruto has betrayed us, knowing very well that he is a beneficiary of our community's distinct for betrayal, we are through with him. So Raila Odinga is there. He has not betrayed us. He has not done anything so grave, that in our view makes it impossible for us to work together. But I have heard him say that he's going to consult very widely and he will say the way forward. If he wants to be president, he can talk to us. We don't have a problem. And I also want to tell Raila Odinga and his supporters, I know I am not qualified to advise him, but from my working with President William Ruto, myself and my community, better be very careful. I have had them promise him to be Prime Minister. That is a lie, it's conmanship. There's no such position available in this country because it's not in the Constitution. For you to create the position of Prime Minister, it means you have to change the structure of government. You have to go for a referendum. Yes. Today, if there is a referendum, it will be a referendum against the leadership of President William Ruto. And you lose in the morning. So that position of Prime Minister is not available.
So who's playing?
William Ruto is playing Raila Odinga. Let me tell you. There is no such position. So it's just a call. Number two, I think to be fair to Raila Odinga, I think he has risen above that position of Prime Minister. The man has wanted to be president 5 times. He now wanted to be the chairman of the African Union Commission. I think taking him back to the position of Prime Minister is a bit demeaning. In my view, the former Prime Minister has 2 options, in my view. I cannot advise him, I cannot pretend I have the capacity to advise him. He either retires in dignity or he goes for the presidency. Because there's no way you can ask for the presidency 5 times and then you demean yourself and you want to become a Prime Minister. I think that will be very, very demeaning. But again, final analysis. I want to ask my brother, now that you say this man is a witch doctor, he's the Lord of what? He is the real problem of this country. You have changed your mind, you are saying he's the best for Africa. He means well for this country. Why don't you, if you are genuine, consider to do 1 term and endorse him to be president in the next election? If you really genuine that this man is so good, this man can sort out this country, if really that is from the bottom of your heart, since you have done 5 years, you want to do 5 years and you have not done very well, why don't you consider to allow this man to be president? So what I would like to say is that in my discussions with people, we have, by the way, I must tell you those discussions. If you want me to tell you, we'll get there. But I'm saying we are not opposed to working with Raila Odinga.
You're willing to
already we are working with the council. Working with Eugene Wamaro, working with Fred Matiang'i, we are working with Eugene Wamaro, we are working with all like-minded Kenyans. If Raila Odinga does not make a decision to restore his legacy and support President William Ruto and decides to join the rest of Kenyans in trying to liberate our country and get it back in the right footing and calls upon us for a discussion on the possibility of working together, I know whatever formation we are open to that discussion. We are not selfish people. By the way, myself and my community are on record having supported somebody else. William Ruto is not one of us. Today he is calling us tribalists, despite the fact that we supported him, knowing very well he is not one of us. And because we are not tribal, we supported him, and he became president. We also are and ready, if need be, to support another person, be it Raila Odinga, be it Kalonzo, be it Wamala. We can support anybody, and whoever we decide to support, and take it from me today, and you'll ask me 2 years from now, whoever we decide to support, we have 2 options. We can have our own candidate or 2, and we are good. If we decide for whatever reason that it's better to support somebody else, whoever we decide to support, that will be the next president of our country.
Okay, time will tell. You say you're open to working with like-minded individuals.
Yes.
Have Have you had a meeting with former President Uhuru Kenyatta? Did you bury the hatchet? Because there's some who still point fingers at you, blaming you for the push and pull after the current Kenya Kwan's administration came to office. That perhaps the raid at his farm might have been orchestrated by Rigathi Gachagua. Have you had a meeting with the former head of state ever since you were impeached?
You know, Uhuru Kenyatta is my elder brother. I was his PA, and he's our leader as a community.
Okay.
It is inappropriate for me to discuss him in public because I'm a junior elder in the community, is a senior elder, and discussions of elders in our community is a preserve of that community.
We're just asking if you met him. Come on. You're a truthful man.
What I'm saying is that Uhuru Kenyatta is our brother, our son, and our leader. And he's retired, and we respect his status and his retirement. But when we need advice from him as a community, it's always available.
So let me rephrase the question. What do you tell those who see former President Uhuru Kenyatta's hand in the appointment of Uhuru's men, as they're commonly referred to? Some of the CSs we saw recently appointed, Rigathi Gachagua, and
There's no problem whether Uhuru had a hand or no hand. It, to me, is irrelevant. And he is a Kenyan. If he proposes something to be appointed, so be it. What is important for us, especially from the mountain, is that those appointments amounted to nothing, because they were meant to pacify the region that is very unhappy with the president, either for receiving them, for mismanaging the economy, and for destroying leaders in the region. And immediately they were appointed, there was a saying among our people that even if you invite Mwai Kibaki or Kenyatta, and even if you have nothing will change. So we are really not for that. Let them go and work. They are being given a job to do. Let them go and do the job that were given to do. We wish them well. If they can make a change and people of Kenya are better off than they were before they were appointed, we appreciate their sons. And we don't have a problem with that. Yeah.
Why the delay in forming your political party? Because going by your timelines, we were supposed to have that launch earlier this year. It was pushed, and now we expect that launch in May. What are having challenges in registering?
No challenges at all.
Yeah.
I have, when I left office, the people of my region felt that we needed consult going forward, because as a community we felt very bad. The community felt totally misused by President William Ruto. They felt deceived, and his career has been very rosy. Even I'm encouraging my MCs, MPs, and senators, the ones who made that very brave decision, because that is very courageous. To leave a seat you have been elected and resign and go back to the people, it's very courageous. But I want to assure them, the way I'm listening to our people, any leader who makes that decision will be elected without a doubt, with very serious majority. Number two, they will be heroes of our people, and their politics will be rosy for decades and decades to come. So that is one of the reasons why we have played back. I want to say our party is ready, and I want to correct. I have seen a lot of people trying to say that our party is for the region. Mount Kenya, it's a national party. By the way, I have a lot of people who are interested in our party, and the mountain will have a home in that party, but it's a national party for everyone. But that will be the home of the mountain. Just like ODM is a serious party, but it's the home of the Nyanza people. Ford Kenya is a serious national party, but it's also the home of people from Bungoma and Tanzania. Wiper is a national party, but it's also the home of the people of Kamani. That's the way politics move, because politics are local. And our interim national chairman is from Kajiado County. interim national organizing secretary is from Machakos. Our interim deputy party leader is from Kakamega. Our interim assistant national treasurer is from Kuria in Migori. Ours is a serious national party. I'm the party leader. It's a serious national party again, but it's the home of the mountain, and that brings in serious numbers, which is good for the party. Because the mountain, we have 6-7 million voters, so it's good for the party to have a base that is strong as part of the national movement. But we are very serious movement. We are very serious in Kajiado, in Narok, in Samburu, in Kakamega, in Kisii. We are serious national party.
But then tell me this: have you thought of the implications on the taxpayer if you instigate a by-election? Is that a selfish move?
It's not selfish at all. We just have to be honest. We don't want to pretend to belong where we don't feel comfortable. President William Ruto has hatched a plot to finish us as a people, to destroy our leaders, to destroy our businesses. We cannot pretend. The other day, he chased away our chairman of committees in the Senate and replaced them with ODM people. How do we then pretend? How does the Senator Onyadaro, who was the chairman of a committee, has been removed and replaced somebody from ODM, pretend that he loves UDA?
So to help with the taxpayers because of these leaders.
There are many other things that money is being spent, and probably it is not a priority. So we are saying we need to fix our politics. There is no way you are going to chase away people who got you elected on UDA party and expect them to remain there to support you. They will not. Those people will move on and they'll walk by through. And they will be elected, they will come back to parliament or another party that respects them. But you cannot mistreat people. You mistreat them, you treat them like rubbish, like toilet paper. They helped you be president, they helped you to form the government. Then you use that very government to punish them, to mistreat them, and then expect them to continue staying in UDA and pretending that they are very happy and that they love you and that they are comfortable. That is deceit. We don't want politics of deceit and comedy.
Interesting. Let's go to Wamunyoro. It might not be in Wamunyoro, but the essence seems to be here. Because needless to say, you've managed to quickly convert your Wamunyoro home into a new center of power, meeting dignitaries, defectors, and planning your next move. But as we witness heightened activity in your home, you mentioned up to 400 meetings. That's in 4 months, so each month 100 meetings thereabout. Your critics argue that you're slowly reintroducing the culture of kingmaker in Mount Kenya region. That you would go to the lengths of decampaigning Mount Kenya political leaders. And mind you, it's not based on how they've served the people in their constituencies, in their counties. It's simply based on their political affiliation.
Well, to start with, there is no crime in being a kingmaker. Politics is about kingmaking. If Rigathi Gachagua and the mountain will be the kingmaker in the next election, so be it. There's nothing wrong. And by the way, you'll be king or kingmaker. Either way. And there's nothing wrong about that. That is politics, and it's a practicality of Kenyan politics. Number two, there is nothing about Wamunyoro. Wamunyoro is just my home. It's simply I've shifted the base from the official residence of the deputy president to Wamunyoro. I was removed from office, but my fathers went with me. So I'm still a leader with a serious weight in the country. And that is why they took to Wamunyoro. And nobody comes to money there. They bring food, they bring goats, they bring chicken, they bring bananas. They come to see their leader and consult with him. You know, William Ruto had cheated the MPs from Mount Kenya region that once I'm removed from office, in 2-3 weeks I'll be forgotten. I think he must be having a shock of his life. Because he didn't understand our people. He was not one of us. We elected him. At a certain point, he imagined that he's the leader of the mountain. And I tried to talk to him. I thought, you are not the leader of the mountain. You are just a beneficiary of the mountain's people destined for betrayal. They just voted for you because they felt you had been betrayed. And because they hate betrayal, they voted for you and followed you. But you are not their leader. I'm their leader. And he couldn't take it. And he thought that he would get rid of me and life would just continue. But the entire mountain left with me and followed me to Amanyara. That's why you find the places of VIP activity. The meetings you see in social media are a few that we report. There are many other meetings. You know ourselves, we are descendants of the Monster. We are very secretive people. We do meetings, many meetings have been done, and very serious decisions have been made by the community of how we proceed going forward.
What decisions are this?
One, the decisions have been made. One, that we are through with President William Ruto for 5 reasons. One, he has betrayed the lot. Number two, he deceived us that he will work for us. He will do our projects, he will fix the economy, he will make sure business is thriving. He has done the exact opposite. He has destroyed the health system. SHA is not working, patients are suffering. Today, the private hospitals have discontinued that program. The university financing model, he destroyed. University students are at home. The economy is destroyed. Overtaxation, destruction of business, evictions, demolitions. Really, the country has come to a standstill. Again, one of another reason is that when the mountain started moving up from President William Ruto, he activated a criminal gang that was very notorious in the Mount Kenya region in circumcising women, beheading children, raping young girls. He activated that group in the mountain to cause problems, and the people are very bitter with that. Again, another issue that people are very bitter is the introduction of alcoholic illicit goods in the region that I, as deputy president, had successfully dealt with. And because of those reasons, and the most recent one that has really, annoyed the people of that region is his deliberate scheme to mobilize other communities against the mountain. You remember when he was in Mount Elgon, one of the MPs, one of his people, Wanyama, he told him to say that all other communities would come up against the mountain people and isolate them. And since he spoke last, yet he claims every day that he's uniting the country. He never acknowledged it. Again, he has been using abusive language against the people of Kenya. That has really annoyed the people, calling people stupid, saying they are possessed by demons, and lacking respect for the people. And the people who made him president, the mountain people, because their vote was very decisive, those 43%, he has done against them. So they are with them. So what they have to do in those consultations is that we must be the next government through two methods. One, to consolidate our votes to 800 votes and move for our friends and have a presidential candidate for the mountain. If we find the numbers are okay, we proceed. If we find the numbers are not okay, because this politics is a game of parties, we are not selfish. We are willing to work with other people. And Raila Odinga has been mentioned as a possible person we can work with. Kalonzo Musyoka has been mentioned. Eugene Wamalwa has been mentioned. Gatete has been mentioned. Even Martin has been mentioned. And we are looking at all those options. And they have mandated me as their leader to continue engaging with everybody and come up with a formula, where the mountain people will be governed through their political party. This time, President William Ruto deceived me, and I joined him with my people, political people, and he shortchanged us, mistreated us, and he continues to do so. So we are going to have a political party, the mountain people and other Kenyans to educate everybody else. All right. And in fact, I was looking at it the other day with a few strategies for the region. And if we agree to support Kalonzo's, we don't think we have the numbers. Our first priority is that we are going to have a presidential candidate for the mountain. And we'll appeal to other Kenyans to support us. If we find this not feasible, we'll support us. Kalonzo is an option. We looked at his numbers, our numbers and other numbers, and it's doable. Raila's is even more exciting. Yeah, because Raila already has 6.8 million. We only beat him by 200,000 votes. If we agree to support him, we could. I told you it's a possibility. With his 6.8 plus our 6, I have looked at his voting pattern. He normally votes between 10 and 11. Yeah. If we agree to support him, before he votes, he'll be president. Not even 10 to the right.
Okay.
We are looking at the millennium. Their numbers are huge. A presidential candidate from the millennium nation, supported by the millennium nation when they are united. And I told them, I addressed them through the FM station. I said, millennium nation, please unite. If the millennium nation united, and they have a candidate, and we from the mountains supported them, they'll be president by 12 o'clock. The same with Matiano. So, those are the discussions. And I want to confirm to the people of Kenya that we, the mountain people, are not selfish. We are very selfless. We will do anything for this country. If we feel that we need to support someone else so that this country can be saved from the recklessness that is there, we will do it. We are on record that we have supported another candidate from another area, William Ruto, in a very difficult election, and he became president.
So can you support William Ruto again? Is that
no? William Ruto, we cannot support him. Okay, we are done. Okay. And it's also not good for the country.
Okay. I have to take you back because I asked you, why are you making sure that you campaign members of parliament, not based on their track record, but because of their allegiance?
We have a policy of non-interference with the affairs of other countries. We cannot allow rebels who have been slapped with international sanctions because of genocide to meet in government facilities in Nairobi. You have heard Sudan now is threatening to stop our team going to Sudan. And what is happening is that the president has put his personal commercial interest ahead of the country's interest. That's because they are doing business with the RSF chief of gold that is being gotten to Nigeria, brought to Dubai.
And you can substantiate?
Yes, I can. I have. One time, and diplomatically, the president cannot invite him here because he was vice president, and he asked me to invite him on his behalf. And he called me and said, "Simon, invite him here because I want to have a discussion."
When is this?
Sometime in 2023, and I did invite him and welcomed him and delivered him to the president. There was nothing about Kenya. We were just discussing about such a thing.
You were in that meeting?
No, I introduced him as a friend. I was so believed.
Then how
But it had nothing to do with Kenya.
How do you know this?
No, I'm saying if it had anything to do with Kenya, I would have started with the meeting. But I'm the one after the war through, I'm the one who took it to the airport and I inquired and they are doing business. So it is putting Kenya in a very bad light. Very, very bad light. And President William Ruto must accept that he will not be president forever. He cannot destroy this country and the way we are perceived by other nations. He must be a nationalist. He must rise above personal and commercial interests and put the country first. That group has been flagged by the international community, and sanctions have been slapped against them for genocide and killing of children. And again, thinking about it, so there's a saying that birds of the same feather flock together. They are killing children in Sudan, we are killing children here. So again, there's convergence. I think birds of the same feather flock together. But we are looking very bad. DRC, we have handled it very badly. And in fact, I am to many African presidents are willing to get involved in peace initiatives led by President William Ruto because he's conflicted in terms of personal and commercial interests that he has put above national interest.
All right, let's come back to the country. I'd like like your take on the formation of IEBC, because there seems to be progress after quite some time. Perhaps start off with telling us your take. Was a delay in formation of the IEBC by design or by default? Thereafter, what do you make of the process?
The delay was by design. President William Ruto wanted the conclusion of the AUC bid before IBC can be formed, because the changes that were made in Parliament, there is participation of political parties. He wanted to be certain that they are on the same side with Raila Odinga so that they can agree on the formation of an IBC commissioners that are friendly. He wanted to know whether Raila is on his side or not, so that is why that delay was there. And he's the one who was sponsoring those court cases to keep the delay going on. But I think after covering the international community raised the issues, he reluctantly allowed it to go on. I think now the AUC has been, the AUC is concluded. I think even the discussions in Mombasa is trying to see whether he can be on the same side with Raila Odinga, so that probably they are on the same side. They can agree on the commissioners that will be appointed. That's what I see.
Okay. Just take you back to the matters of diplomacy. Now that the United States is withdrawing its funds, because President Donald Trump seems to put America first, can we survive on our own?
It's not easy. Those programs, especially on health, you said, are very important for our people. And those were serious funds that are coming into the country. It's a very serious gap. I don't know already we are struggling. Our economy is struggling even to fund, to support our budget, on the recurrent and development expenditure. So the withdrawal of those funds for those interventions, especially in the health sector, is quite a serious between the country. I must tell the people of Kenya, we are having a difficult time, and we just have to clean our belts. Things will be quite thick as we move on, but we just have to struggle and see what we make out of it.
Okay, well noted. I'd like to bring your focus to matters that are facing the Kenyan public. We've already talked about the withdrawal of the rural and urban private hospitals offering SHA services. I think they mentioned that they'll only offer emergency services. Apart from that, they're withdrawing services from SHA due to that figure, the NHIF arrears that haven't been paid till date. And it's not just that. There are a couple of issues still in the education sector. And recently you mentioned that, the State House of Nairobi is the epicenter of corruption. So talk to us about this in light of the challenges we're facing. What's the solution? We're not here to whine, we're here to provide solutions as well.
Rogers, President William Ruto said that he's a PhD holder. And the rest of us who don't have PhD should not tell anything. I had some discussion with some people yesterday on Saturday night in America. And they were wondering if this is where PhD has reached us as a country, whether there is any need for it to ever aspire to. All systems are destroyed. The health system has collapsed. Today, the private hospitals are withdrawn from SHA, and they normally take care of 47% of the country. So where do those people who go to the national hospitals go? And this SHA thing was rushed because of corruption. The whole genesis of this program and why it was pushed down the throats of the people of Kenya without proper and adequate preparation was because of conflict of interest. There is a system, a management system, or the SHIFT program, that is costing 104 billion shillings. That is the gist. That is money that people are taking from government. More than 80% of that money 700 million to upgrade their system to manage the health system. Okay? So what has happened because of this corruption? There's a nation called Jaesh. He's the one who's created this. He works with Adani on behalf of people in government. Because of that, the program was rushed and now being fought through. There are people who are owned money by NHIF. Nobody talked to them. We just migrated to a new program without thinking through what it is. When we were campaigning, we had promised the people of Kenya that the ordinary Kenyans who are paying 500 shillings, we will take it to 300. What has happened is that nobody can afford the system, and the system itself is not working. So, a government that cannot have a working health system. I'm actually happy to be a doctor's government. I will be very embarrassed if I was deputy president today. I will be very embarrassed when I meet old women and they ask me, "You are the deputy president. We had a working health system before you took over. 2 years down the line, the system has collapsed. What are you? Who are you?" I will be very embarrassed. In fact, sometimes I sleep here. I wake up at night. I'm happy I'm not deputy president because I would not know what to explain to the people. So, we are having a crisis of monumental proportions in terms of our health system. And I really feel for the people of Kenya. I don't know what will happen now that the private hospitals have been built for the system and people are paying through their basic and they cannot access health care. What do? I was talking to some policemen today as I came from here, and they saw me on the road. They said, "Afand, we support you. We are complaining even more than ordinary Kenyans. We cannot access health care. The teachers are complaining. You know, the teachers have a good medical system with some hospitals. And a decision was made to remove the insurance so that it's given to some hospitals owned by that Asian called Jaesh. Today, teachers are going to hospital. They cannot access medical care. Everybody is crying. The whole country is in tears. And it's just 2 years down the line. You know, and I looked at, I saw after the AUC, I saw a fellow who works on the National Intelligence Service, an MCA from here on the line. He wrote a big post trying to blame President Uhuru Kenyatta that he is the one who campaigned Raila Odinga at the AU. Okay. I want to tell those people who are ODM, to leave Uhuru Kenyatta alone. Uhuru Kenyatta was president. His project did not go through. He conceded. He handed over power. 2 years down the line, you cannot keep on blaming him for every problem in Kenya. Even when Raila Odinga does not succeed in AU, you bring President Uhuru Kenyatta. President Uhuru Kenyatta left.
Let me read you in. Back to, away from Uhuru Kenyatta, because we've talked about that. Let's talk about solutions. If Kenyans are to trust you with the leadership of this country, what would you do different?
First and foremost, governance is all the people. The first thing you do if you want to govern well is to listen to the people and never assume them. Had we listened to the stakeholders in the health sector, we will not be in the hole we are in. The first thing we'll do when we form government is to call the stakeholders and listen to them. And the people of Kenya, my brother, are very knowledgeable. We have an abundance of human resources in this country. People are extremely intelligent and very knowledgeable. But we have a government that listens to nobody. Nobody talked to people in the health sector. You need to talk to the doctors, you need to talk to the hospital owners, you need to talk to the paramedics, you need to talk to the nurses, you need to talk to the patients, you need to talk to the ordinary people. But I know that we could reform NHIF at a very small cost of less his salary in shillings, and just improve on what was already working. You know, the English can say, if it's working, don't fix it. We would have just taken NHIF the way it was.
So that's what you do.
Yeah, take NHIF where it was. Talk to everybody, talk to all the stakeholders. Because they know they are the people in the medical world.
Then what would you do about the proliferation of funds through NHIF? Because this was an issue, not just...
That is what we should have dealt with. You don't, if a leg has passed, you don't cut it away and throw it away and look for an artificial limb. You try to find why there is pass. So what we did is that we said because people are stealing from NHIF, we throw it out and bring a new system where you steal upfront. Because that is what is happening with the SHA and SHIF. We are stealing upfront. 104 billion. That is stealing upfront. And this money for SHA is being taken to a bank that has been bought by the powers that be. Even money for the housing program is being taken to a bank. We'll be giving details.
So you don't have those details.
I haven't, but we can't give Kenyans everything every day. The money for the housing fund, because one, the Ministry of Housing has no capacity to absorb those funds. The PS was saying they have made 2 billion shillings. Why were we deducting people money from the president to keep it in the bank? It's very insensitive. We started a levy fund without an infrastructure to absorb the money. The Ministry of Housing, the State Department of Housing has no capacity to absorb those funds. And they cannot even let the National Housing Corporation, which has a proven track record of building houses, do it. This money, more than 100 billion, has been collected from bankers and from basically funders. There is a bank that the people in power vote, which can give us a bank. Yes. It's a bank that people in power vote, which bank? And all that money has been put in that bank. Which bank is no, we'll ask 1 or 2 because I want to do things the right way. Yeah. I'll get one of the members of parliament who works with me to ask a parliamentary question that must be answered. We'd like to know where that money has been invested. Then you will know that bank, and that bank was bought after they came into office. So it's about personal interest. Again, look at EZZ. When we came into office, the president called a meeting. And he wanted to know why EZZ was in private hands. And he was very furious. And the National Treasury was there, ICTA was there, the CS, ICT was there with the PS, I was there. And he said, there's no way we can collect funds from government people, from people wanting services from government and give it to private people. That EZZ should be owned by the National Treasury. And we had several meetings. Later on, that matter died. I was not called for any other meeting. Later on, I came to learn that people in government had actually acquired shares from EZZ, and immediately the government went overdrive in making sure that all government services are onboarded on EZZ. As we speak today, the private people who own e-citizens are people within government, and they are milking billions every day. That is why there was a big push. It was done by another lawyer, it's called a deal, Sanation firm. So the guys who are doing all the deals in this country. He's the one who was able to blackmail the owners of the e-citizen and force them to cede certain shareholding to people in government. And he crafted it. What is happening now? Why every government service was onboarded is so that the new owners of e-citizen can make money. It's not for the country. Can you name them? It's not for the country. Can you name them? It's you now to do investigative journalism. I'm giving you the hints. Okay. I'm giving you the hints here. That fine from one e-citizen is in private hands. And those are government people. And that is why the push for onboarding government services on e-citizen was done. And these are some of the problems that make me disagree with the president. Okay. Because this is pure corruption, it's pure theft. He called a meeting and said E-citizen cannot be in private hands. I only came to yes, it was a strategy to get to know who owns e-citizen so that people can grab it.
Well noted. In a minute or so, because we're pressed for time, now that you said Parliament is captured, there's an ongoing debate about majority, minority. Is this a circus from your side?
It's a circus, doesn't matter. There is no distinction in majority and minority, they are one and the same thing. It doesn't matter. Ichoma can exchange the seat with the United or the other way, it's still the same thing. They are parts of the same feather.
Okay, that's one of the questions from our viewers. Yet another one. They say you are part and parcel of the government that a section of Kenyans are against. Looking at the issues Gen Z were fighting for, good governance, end of corruption, tribalism, and all that. Why would Kenyans trust you this time round, considering you misled them in 2022?
Well, when I misled them, when I went to government, I realized what I believed in is not what I got. The person I believed is a good leader I found is not the case.
Okay.
I disagreed with him and he kicked me out of government. The very fact that I was kicked out of government for refusing to ease against the people of Kenya cleanses me for the people of Kenya.
Okay.
And I started talking when I was in office. I did not speak when I left office. When I got a press conference on the 26th of June in Mombasa, I talked against abduction and extradition. I was still the president.
Can you name these abductors?
When I
seem to know more than we do. Name these abductors. What building were they using? Because you dropped hints.
No. I said in that press conference, the abductions were being done by the National Intelligence Service. I say so.
What building?
The buildings are there.
Which?
What I did know, there are some safe houses. One safe house is in Westlands by Nice. Another one is in Wiki. Another one is in Hamilton. And there's a commercial building in town. I didn't want to mention it because it's a commercial building and they will ruin their businesses. But it's for you guys to do your investigations. But even Justin Muturi, when his son was abducted, Kindiki was taking him in circles. Kome was taking him in circles. Ndino was taking him in circles. Amin was taking him in circles. He complained to me the president was out of town. I called all these people who were also taking me into circles. And we did agree with him, he faces the president. And he faces the president. And he has the president. If somebody disappears in Kenya in police hands, you go to court and file what you call a habeas corpus. A habeas corpus is filed against the Attorney General to produce that person in court, dead or alive. So what would he ask me? Since I am the father of this young boy, I'm supposed to file a habeas corpus against the Attorney General. I'm the Attorney General. What happens? So I advise him to go and face the president. He faced the president. The president called moved to the Haji. The man was released. So it is clear who abducts people. The president knew who abducts people because he knew who to call. Whoever was called released the young man. So what other explanation do you want about it?
Fair point. As we finalize, I'm still getting questions, and there are quite a couple about you making claims during your engagements with people, with members of the fourth estate. Why should Kenyans trust you now? Yet you didn't speak sooner. At times, people point towards the 2023 protests where, is it up to 30 lives were lost, and you put the blame squarely on Raila Odinga then. This time around,
that is the information that I have. You know, my brother, for you to make an informed decision, you need to sample, you need to experience. The first year in government, I trusted President William Ruto. When he told me the housing program is a good thing, I believed him. Until later on, I realized it's a business enterprise for creating opportunity for people in government to sell cement, to sell steel and mabati as proxies to companies that provide these things. And I disagreed with it because I did not have that prior information. E-citizen, when we were onboarding those services, I believed it's a way of enhancing revenue collection. Only later to know that people in government had acquired e-citizen.
Okay.
So people cannot say I did not speak then. But the minute I realized there's a problem, the first 1 year I played along because I was persuaded. President William is very persuasive. Until now, because I'm fairly also intelligent, started putting two and two together to realize that this government is a commercial enterprise.
So did you realize in the first year that there were...
Later on along the way, but I kept on asking him so that we can remedy. I also did not want to rock government. I'm a responsible leader. I kept on persuading him, let's do the right thing. Let us not overtax people. Let us not force people to do housing they don't want. I tried to persuade him. But in the second year, I started now telling him no. And we started disagreeing, and I would say go to cabinet, finance bill, I will oppose, and cabinet, demolitions and evictions, I will oppose. But the first year I tried to persuade him because I didn't want to rock the government. I wanted to be a loyal deputy. I wanted to be supportive. But when I realized that the government is against the people of Kenya and it's a commercial enterprise, everything in this government is about deals. There is no decision that is made without a commercial interest, including our foreign relations.
Did you make these deals yourself?
I made no deal. I'd like somebody to say Rigathi Gachagua did this one day.
Are you a bitter man?
I have no bitterness at all. I carry people who are bitter. I have many people who are bitter with me. My community is bitter with me. They are forgiving me slowly, but many are not able to forgive me. Because I came and said, William Ruto is a good man. They asked me, do you trust him? I said, yes. Have you made sure our interests are taken care of? I cheated them, yes. Because I believed him, I trusted him. When I went in to tell them I have nothing written, they blamed me up to today. So I'm a leader of a very bitter people. But myself, I have no bitterness. I'm an easy guy. You can see I look happy. I sleep well. I am more easy. I have time for my family. I have time for friends. I also have time to listen to the people of Kenya. And I'm also a very hopeful man. I'm sure, God is with us. And in the fullness of time, I'll be vindicated. And for my people from home, for my region, whom I wrote, I'll do everything possible to fix their own. So that I also, persuade you that I was called like you are called, I was deceived like you are deceived, and I'll have the opportunity to right the wrongs that I did. I will be more careful, I will be more thorough, I will be more consultative, I will not assume anything, I will treat everybody as a suspect until proved otherwise, so that we don't make wrong decisions that can put our country where we are.
Well noted. As we finalize, speak to the nation, those who are yearning for solutions due to the predicaments they're facing in the problem as a government. Equally, your political path, speak to that.
I would like to tell the people of Kenya that Kenya is a beautiful country with good people who are very hardworking, very industrious, very enterprising. The problem of Kenya is one of leadership. There is a book I read sometimes back on the problem with Nigeria. And it says Nigeria is no problem with Nigerian air, soil, and the people. The problem is leadership. The problem that we have in Kenya is one of leadership. And the first solution to all the problems that we develop our land is to fix the leadership, is to get the right leadership. People who are patriotic, people who put national interest above their personal interest, people who will listen to the people of Kenya and not abuse them. Because it's very bad to abuse people and insult people when they tell you the way they want to be governed. Because people must be allowed to say that they want to be governed. Because at the end of it all, the sovereignty of this republic rests with the people. So the first thing we must do is fix the leadership. Once we fix the leadership, the other things will follow. I am very hopeful that the people in this country at the right time will fix the leadership, and from there things will get better. I want to say my people who think that they are good, the leaders in the Senate and the National Assembly, I feel for you that you are being harassed. The way they they are getting trumped up charges against you. The MP for Georgia, also questioning the funds for AUC, was arrested, and he has been charged with a crime that is alleged to have been done 30 years ago, 1990. Today, he's being arrested and charged with a matter for harassment. There is a scheme to plant bangi and arms on Senator Karongo Faro, so that they have tried to look for something to arrest him. They want to plant bangi so that they can arrest him. They have been trying to get charges against me. A whole unit called the Economic Division at ECI. About 16 people have been assigned to turn my life upside down, right? And see whether they can get something to take me to court. My own children have been harassed. They used to have a place where I do business. They have stayed there for the last 7 years. The person who had listed them in the office was called and threatened that you must ask the result of the out. They were thrown out at night by policemen. And they came here crying. I said, it's okay. Your father has taken a certain decision. He's your father, so you must suffer the consequences. So I asked my children just to take it easy. These things will go. No situation is permanent. And I say that I'm embarrassed that President William Ruto had promised that he will never use the criminal justice system to set a political cause. He has even perfected it more than that for administration. People are being harassed. Our friends are being followed everywhere. They are being threatened by KRA. They are being threatened by asset recovery. It's very unfortunate, but it's okay. There is nothing we can do. Time is healing. Time has a way of sorting out these things. So I want to tell the people of Kenya to know that Rigathi Gachagua and other leaders who are perpetrating, I will do everything possible in the limited ways to make sure we fix the governance in this country and accord the people of Kenya an opportunity to fix what is wrong. And I am very hopeful that there will be new leadership when the elections are called, and the leaders will put the interest of this country first, and then we can fix the economy, and we can fix all the other things that hold it, the health system, and mostly important, restore the dignity of the payslip. That's a commitment I want to give to the middle class. All the people who are payslips, we are committed. We work for you. We will serve for the next 2 years. We will be here too, because there is nothing we can do now. Because Parliament has been captured, so it cannot help you. Opposition has been captured, it cannot help you. It's only the Kenyans who can help themselves. So I want to appeal to our young people, the Gen Zs and the millennials. You have a date with the destiny. You've done very well so far online, using the smartphone to bring awareness to the Kenyan people. But that is not enough. My sons and daughters